Have you ever wondered what it's like to fly with a Chinese airline in 2025? I'll give you a hint. It's very comfortable and worth exploring as an affordable option, especially if you want to fly around the Greater China region. Now, join me today as I review my flight on China Southern Airlines from Zhengzhou to Taipei. Good morning from Zhengzhou Xinzheng International Airport, where we'll be departing at 8:05 a.m. this morning on a Boeing 737-800 to Taiwan Taoyuan International. Now, right off the bat, you're going to notice that Chinese airports are very modern, with good signage located throughout. Now, at first I was looking in the wrong area, but thankfully I was helped and even offered an upgrade for around 900 renminbi. Not a bad price, and about half the cost if you bought it at booking. One interesting thing I noticed is that Taiwan and Hong Kong flights operate the same as international, but get special distinction as according to the government they are still domestic flights. Thankfully, because of my status with Delta Airlines, a partnership that ends on August 10th of this year, unfortunately, I was able to skip the very long check-in queue for China Southern. Now, off to security. Alright, so a wonderful good morning from Zhengzhou Airport here in the Henan province. So a few things I wanted to say. So when you leave, you're going to do the health quarantine, say check your temperature with a camera. And then you do the customs. You have to scan your bags twice, once at customs, one at security, and then also immigration. So I just finished all of those. And now I'm going to head over down to my gate. Now, I always love getting a view of my aircraft and all the others before I depart. And as China has some of the largest airlines in the world, with China Southern alone having over 800 planes and having the largest fleet in Asia, there are always plenty of aircraft to see at Chinese airports. Alright, I'm going to give you one guess where I'm going to go next. It's McDonald's. I always love a good iced coffee. So, interesting note, at McDonald's they apparently do not serve breakfast at the Zhengzhou airport. Very limited menu. And so, after watching security whiz by on a hoverboard like it's 2015, I got some views of the nice Boeing 737-800 aircraft that will be taking me back home to Taipei today. Now, my flight today is CZ3023 to Taipei Taoyuan International Airport. With a quick glance around the boarding area, I saw that today we'd be flying a VIP guest. A god from a local temple will be flying to visit his, relatives maybe, across the strait. And with that peculiar observation out of the way, I made my way down the jet bridge for boarding. Maybe I'm a weirdo, but I always love going down the jet bridge and boarding a new aircraft. Now, I passed business class and was a little bit envious, but then I noticed that the god was sitting in economy, so I guess it's not that bad. Now, it's time for a little seat tour. As you can see, the seats on China Southern Airlines are very comfortable. Standing at about 6 feet tall, I found the 31 inches of pitch to be very comfortable and more than enough for the 3-hour journey approximately to Taipei. Under the seat, you'll find a charging port taking USB-C and USB cables. Above the seat, you'll find an individual light and vent, both adjustable. In the seat back in front of you, you'll find not too much exciting, a QR code that does something, a tray table, and of course, a literature pocket. And with one last look at another plane in China Southern's fleet, we were ready for departure. Now that we're comfortably airborne, it's time to talk about price. I paid about $200 for my one-way economy class ticket, which I do consider to be a little bit pricey, but since it's the only direct flight between the two cities, I won't complain at all. Now, a great thing about non-budget airlines in Asia is that you are almost always guaranteed a nice hot meal, even on regional flights. My meal today was served in the form of a pre-packed box with a choice of 2 hot entrees. The box came with all you need, including butter, jam, utensils, and a wet wipe. I'm happy to report that the bread was indeed squishy. Now, I chose an egg and meat breakfast to eat alongside some oolong tea and water. The eggs were good with a creamy hotel eggs flavor, the chicken was passable with the potatoes, and the meal also came with some fruit and tomatoes, plus a serving of yogurt. But I actually discovered later that you're supposed to drink the yogurt through a little straw that's provided, so I probably looked quite foolish to my companions. There was no in-flight entertainment provided, and since I was in no mood to test whether or not my seat companions were feeling social, I spent my extra time looking out the window and browsing China Southern's in-flight magazine. Then, before I knew it, about 2 hours later, we were on approach to Taipei, which signaled the end of my introductory trip across the strait in mainland China. I have to say, I really enjoyed my trip on China Southern Airlines, and while the interior doesn't appear to be anything flashy, I found the seat very comfortable. This, coupled with the decent meal, is exactly what I think a regional flight should be. Dare I say I even felt relaxed during my trip? I was happy to be back in Taipei though, eager to get back to my apartment, and I was lucky to be able to quickly enter into Taiwan using the e-gates that I gained access to as a legal resident before passing quarantine inspection and collecting my luggage at the baggage claim. Finally, thank you everyone for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed seeing what flying on a Chinese airline is like in 2025. If you want to keep up with future Mandarin Miles posts where I discuss my journey as an American graduate student in Taiwan, blogging about Greater China, travel, and a whole lot more, then please subscribe to my Substack at the link below, or subscribe here on YouTube to be updated about any future vlogs. Thanks for watching, and I hope your life is filled with wonderful adventures.